Well, would you look at that? It's off the jack stands. Well, I didn't bother filming it because if you're at this point, you will have already done this, or I hope you have. I was waiting for my tuner to go ahead and tell me the exact map sensor he wanted that'll read boost. Why? This is the stock LT1 sensor that does not read boost. And so I had to pull that out. And the reason why I didn't show it, because a lot of people don't have the same intake manifold as mine. Mine kind of sucks to get at the map sensor. It's the very back at the bottom. I had to completely take out the intake manifold again. Not a whole video I wanted to make for you guys because it doesn't really pertain to a lot of you. It's pretty simple though. Took off the intake manifold again and then pulled the sensor off, plugged in this sensor. Right, let's see if it'll focus. There it is. And I made sure to get the GM one. I didn't just go buy some aftermarket one. Anyways, now that I've got that sensor replaced, I've got my HP tuners open. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna change some values to be able to read that sensor. This part's easy. So for this particular sensor, we need to change some values in here. Even if you have HP tuners, which you should, and you should have your own dongle if you're going and programming this stuff through your tuner, so that way if something ever happens to your tuner, you have your own information saved. You really do want to have your own backup of the file on your own laptop if you can, and of course your own dongle, so if you ever need to make remote changes, let's say you're at the track or anything. Anyways, long story short, have your own. This is probably even old now because I've had that one for quite a while. Anyways, let's say you just put in that new sensor. Before you drive or start the car, you're gonna wanna go to engine and then let it boot up. Then you're gonna see airflow, then you're gonna see general. So again, airflow, then general. You're gonna see these linear and offset right there. Now I can read these values to you. I'm just gonna see if this will actually focus. Somewhat. Anyways, right there. You want it to be at about 312.50 kPa by negative 11.25 kPa. Now, I was gonna try and see, I wrote down, because I always do that, I'm gonna grab them for you now. My old sensor was, let's see here, 128.13 was your linear, and my offset was negative 0.31. So it's quite a big variation. So again, updated those, went ahead, did a VCM scanner, and then after I did the VCM scanner, the biggest thing is I was tracking my barometric pressure and my map. And again, my map was at 99.0 kPa with the engine, or with the key on but the engine off, and the barometric pressure was 14.2 psi, which is important to note. That means we're doing good. From there, we can do other little adjustments, and that'll at least get me to the tuner. I'm not gonna tell you how to do any tuning in the ECU, and the major reason why, I can twist bolts, I can change things out, I can do stuff with micrometers and so on and so forth, and I can do measurements and make sure things fit. But I have not invested the time into proper tuning. I know a lot of people that have, to get it to the tuner so they could drive it, they've used ChatGPT. I will leave that up to you. I cannot endorse it, as I know that I've had flaws. Now, I'm not saying anything wrong with ChatGPT there, but I've actually personally seen it give me insane torque specs where I'm like, if somebody used those, they would strip their bolts out or snap them. Again, that's at the time of this video. Give it a year, give it 2 years. Who knows where it's going to be at? But again, just be very careful if you're going to use that. Other than that, The next time you probably see this car, I'll be loading it up and it'll be going to the tuner because absolutely everything is done. The only other thing I actually have to do is tune my P3 gauge. I have to set that up for the wideband. Maybe I'll quickly do that. So again, once you hold those two buttons, go to config. We click over here. Oh look, A1.N. This is our wideband. Now if you got their wideband kit, then this is super simple. You hit left, yes. And I believe from here, if I keep clicking the left button, you'll see it says A1.LC. That is for their particular controller when you buy it. From here, we can then click and hold on, I believe it's the right button, and it'll save. And there we go. So again, if yours is like this, let's see if I can hit both buttons. Hit both buttons with one thumb, configuration, scroll over to A1, click the left till it says yes, and then click the left until it lands on LC. Now, if you're using another brand's band gauge, you're going to want to look up what the voltage and stuff is, because a lot of these you might have to manually dial in, or it'll have a manual setting. Anyways, they'll have one for it. I'm just going over the most basic one, which is of course how to do it with this. And again, once you're done, we just click and hold the right hand button, and there she goes. And just like that, guys, she's ready to go to the tuner. We've got both gauges running. I do need to, though, get a Y OBD2 piece, so that way I can run during tuning the HP Tuners dongle and the P3 gauge. So that's something I'll quickly pick up, so that way Bill can have that. The only thing I haven't really completed is the fuse box. I'll probably build something completely custom in the end. I absolutely hate the design of this one, and it doesn't fit very well. So we'll figure it out, whether it's building a complete custom fuse box or it's actually just building a new case just like this one to go around it and to have it actually work properly. But at this point, the car was 2 years in the making. This is where it's at right now. We're super happy to finally be able to drive it. But one thing is I'm not doing fuel yet. And I know I'm going to have a couple people kind of scoff at that, because they're going to be like, oh man, how are you going to hit the high numbers without doing fuel? And to tell you the truth, right now I just want to get it driving for summer. I want to go enjoy the car. And the fuel, with all the tariffs and stuff right now, it's quite a lot of money. I will do it, I promise you that. But I don't want to just rush into it, get the wrong system, and be out like literally 7,000 Canadian because I went with the wrong fuel system. So we'll give it a think here. I mean, I even thought about trying to track down the LT4 fuel system, but even those are really expensive right now locally. Like, they're still, by the time you get the injectors and the pump, you're still around $2 to $3 grand. So if I'm going to spend that much, I'm going to do it right the first time and cry right the first time. So right now, this is where we're at. Going to get it tuned off this. We're expecting probably 650 horse. These turbos are going to not be working too hard, which is fine. For heat wise, means that we, can try and meddle with some temperatures, and I can get to learn the car at 650 horse. Again, that's still around a 200 horsepower gain from where it's at right now. So that's still a substantial amount to get used to. And then from there, we can go to 850. And then from 850, if I decide to do E85, we can go to the moon. We'll see where we go from there. Anyways, thanks again for watching, following along on this crazy journey. And I really look forward to showing you some dyno footage. And of course, I might possibly be able to get it onto the track this year. If not, then that's all right. We'll make it happen. I'll at least get it out in the wild and get it to some car shows, maybe some car meets, and then, some of the local guys can take a look and, roast me on it. Anyways, thanks again for watching. As always, guys, have a great day.